Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TMP Finance, where you make long and short-term investing simple. Today's video is going to be very simple. We're just going to be taking a look at the NASDAQ here, just because there's really not much to really report when it comes to the individual stocks. We'll take a look at the heat map real quick, and we can see here that it's been a pretty mixed day, but nothing too substantial, nothing too concerning in the stocks. So that being said, right now what I'm looking for is going to be a little bit more consolidation in the NASDAQ. And why do I say that? Well, just because we do see that we've had this pretty ravenous bull trend up here, and this has been a very strong bull trend. We're moving up almost as fast as we've fallen down, and that's not really seen too commonly. So what do I expect from here? I expect a little bit of consolidation, even if we're moving to the upside, and even if we're moving to the downside here. So let me explain both of my scenarios. First is going to be that this support line, if we're looking for an uptrend, is too fast. This is something that's unsustainable, and we can't hold this much volume and this much volatility for a long-term trend. So we have to consolidate a little bit, kind of even out, balance back out, and then from there we can see a break above this 22,100 line, a retest potentially if you are a retest trader, and from there a move to the upside. Very simple. That's what I'm looking for the bullish scenario. So still a little bit of consolidation in between, and the consolidation range is going to be from anywhere from the top being 22,100 all the way to the low being about 20,750. Now this is shown to be a pretty strong support and resistance line over here. We can see that this support line has held us up about 6 times when we were in it, and prevented us from falling below it 6 times. And same with the support line here. You can have even a support line like over at 21,700, but this is going to be the peak, and I think that if we do break above this, it's going to be very rare that we'll see 3 false breakouts of an all-time high price target here. So we will definitely, I think, move up to all-time highs from there. But again, as I talked about this lower price target over here at 20,750, it's still very possible that we can chop around in this range in between these levels here and still be in a bull trend. Why? Well, because if we take a look at what makes a bull trend, it's going to be higher highs and higher lows, and we have a higher low over here sitting right below this line here. So it's still very possible that we can come down to this level here and not really break that trend. So while we're still in this range here, it's very possible to move to the upside and the downside here. And until we figure it out, I think that's a very good chance that we can come back and even retest this very significant level over here. And this is, again, this is just one time that we retested it, and this has been pretty strong here. So I think there's a very good chance that we could come back and retest the 20,750 level. And let's just take another look at the NASDAQ here as well. And we can see that we have a pretty substantial gap here to the south side as well. And this gap is about 1.8%. So there is a chance that we can come back and fill this gap as well. And typically, and I've done my research here, ever since 2000, the market has always filled its gaps, and the only gap that it's left out has been no bigger than 1.1%. And that's been through the past 25 years. So 1.8% is definitely exceeding those characteristics. And I think there's a very high chance that we could come back and fill this at a later date. And this later date could be before we receive all-time highs. You know, so we have all the obstacles out the way, and then we can start moving higher. But at what point? Because that's a pretty big range there still. That's a range of, let's see here, about 6%, so a fair amount. When could I expect to call a bear market? Well, I'm going to say that if we do break below this, that's when you can start looking for a move to the south side, even lower to price targets such as 20,000, which is a huge psychological number, or even price targets lower at 18,200. And I think those are, if we were to break below this, there's a very good chance that we come down for a leg lower. But yeah, I don't think that's going to be a possibility. I think that is going to be very unlikely for the market. We have a lot of bad news in the market right now, such as the war going on with Iran, with Israel, with the US, and then also things like the FOMC. We're not cutting rates just yet, so there's a lot of bearish price action that you could potentially have, and obviously the market is holding up pretty strong there. So I don't think that we're going to have news that is that bad or any worse than what we already have to bring us down to lower prices, or even lower than we previously were at in April. But I think that some of this news could kind of, you know, shock you out, bring you back to a lower price target over here at 20,700, and then from there, when you're scared and when you sold your position out of fear, that's when the market will start to pump higher. So great buying opportunities is going to be at this breakout over here, breakout and retest, or at a retest of this 20,700 level over here. So that is what I'm looking out for the NASDAQ. Another thing that you can take a look at is this 20 moving average over here. and this has kept us in a short-term trend here. So if we were to break below that and you are a day trader, you could be looking for some nice shorts down to price targets at 21,200 or at 20,750 as previously mentioned. But that's going to be a wrap for today's video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and if you are interested in learning how to become a profitable day trader, come take a look at the link in my description, wap.com/tnpfinance. We're currently beating the market by about 159%. And all my trades are made public in the Discord too. All the trades I take, including take profit, stop loss, and percentage risk allocation, can be found, as well as free trading sessions in the Discord. So if you are interested in that, come take a look, because we are beating the market, and as a day trader, that's our only goal. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow. Later, y'all.